In table number 5, you get to do a little bit of your own thing. I'm looking for that you guys take a look at the table. It's an eyeball it assignment, so you don't have specific instructions, to see if you can count up the columns and rows and set up a table that looks just like the one, except with your favorites in there. So as I scroll down here, I'm going to tables and taking a look at my favorites. And again, not too much specific in here. Eyeball it, so you're looking at it and figuring it out. So the first thing I'm going to do is some planning. So if I take a look at there's actually a couple ways to approach this table. I can count rows and columns. So I could do 1, 2, 3, and even make a row for each of these. So this would be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows, if you wanted to put them in their own row. However, you could also make these all inside of a single row. Another way to approach this is you could just make this 2 rows and 5 columns, and you could actually just hit friends, enter down, put your picture, enter down, and then put these below this. That's probably the approach I'm going to take as I go ahead and make this. So I'm going to get a new document. So I'll go up here to insert. I'm going to go ahead and do a table. I'm going to do 5 columns, and I'm going to just do 2 rows and then let the table do the work for me. So as I look at the sample, the first thing I'm going to do is merge and center. So again, I can do this in my tools, my table tools. I'm a right clicker, so I'm going to go ahead and merge cells right there. And I'm going to come back home, select center, and I'm just going to put in my favorites. And then to copy the sample, it looks like it's in black, so I'm going to just click in this cell, go to my layout, design, and go to shading. And again, when I hit black, it should auto change your text to white. So that's pretty convenient. It does that. It recognizes that we're making that change. Now I'm going to work down these columns and just enter in the information, and then I'm going to worry about getting them, cleaning them up, and alignment and all that second. So I'm going to insert my information first. I've entered my titles, and I'm going to enter down 1 time below each of them. And before I put in my picture, I'm going to enter 1 more time just to give it a little extra spacing so it comes out nice. Again, I'm going with the 2 rows setup. I went ahead and altered my titles for just for fun, maybe combine movies and TV shows into one. And then since a lot of us are on our phones and games, Xbox, Steam, anything like that. So if you want, go ahead and add a column like that. And you can go ahead and get some pictures going here. So again, we're just going to insert online picture, and let's see. So I might add a group of friends. You can just pick up anything you want. We are getting some people that their computers are crashing, and what I think is happening is I have my picture still selected and I go and click to insert another one, and I think that's why some people might have a crashing problem when they're using where their computer locks up. So make sure before you enter another picture you're totally clicked off of this one. Now I'm going to hold down the shift key to make sure it doesn't get too distorted here. And I don't want to change the column width, so I'm just going to click right there. And again, before I put in any foods, I want to make sure I'm clicked off the other picture, and then I can come back and again insert my next picture. So I'm going to take a minute and do that real quick and then start recording again. In working on this, I experienced what many of you did with the crashing, and I tried to make sure I was clicked off it. The second thing I've done is after I've inserted each clip art or picture, I saved before I did another one, and it hasn't crashed since I did that. So I don't know what's causing the problems, but maybe that's something we can all try to see if it prevents that from happening. So at this point, I'm going to click here. I'm going to enter down one so I have good spacing on each of these. So my cursor is down below to enter in information. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add like 5 in each category. So I've entered some information in here, and I'm actually going to click, and if you look at the sample, there's a little space below each one to kind of give it a little better look. Oops, I'm going to go ahead and do that with this one. Should look a little better there, and then we can see a little more of the design. Let's see, you can see everything's aligned left, so I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to come to center. And salt and vinegar chips should be maybe 1 row, so I'm going to just switch that one to 10, just so it all fits like that. So something like this, and then I actually turned off the borders. So if I go to design and go to borders, I'm going to say no border, and so they're all turned off. And then I identify the different columns by shading with the light gray. That's what I did in the sample, because then we can kind of see the different sections. So that's kind of what it should look like at this point. And then make sure again you save and export as PDF correctly.